Greetings, people of the interwebs. It is Dan here, and if I look sick, that is because I am sick. I am extremely sick. I'm having about the world's worst allergies right now because I have an allergy to cottonwood, and I live in New Mexico. And I will give you one wild guess as to what the state tree of New Mexico is. It's the fucking cottonwood tree. So, of course, since it's springtime and the trees are starting to grow their leaves back and come back into bloom, all the old shit is just blowing around in the air, and it is hitting me hard. Dear God, I felt like I was gonna die earlier today, honestly. If it hadn't been for the copious amounts of Benadryl that I've taken today, I would probably be a lot worse off than I actually am. But regardless, hello. Welcome, by the way, to your official NXT review and results for March the 22nd, 2017, live from the University of Central Florida. I'm going to try to get through these damn notes as quick as I possibly can to where I can just load myself down with more allergy medication and go the fuck to sleep. So anyway, from the venue at UCF, it opened with a preview of the six-man main event between Sanity against the team of Ty Dillinger, Noe Jose, and Roderick Strong. Then we opened up with a hot match, man. We opened up starting the crowd off hot. In my opinion, this was the best match of the night. It was Oney Lorcan versus Andrade Almas. Now, this was actually, in my opinion, rivaling my favorite match of the week with American Alpha versus the Usos last night on SmackDown, but I feel like American Alpha versus the Usos might have just beat this one out. Oh my god, my allergies. But one thing that I can tell you is I'm really starting to love Andrade Almas. The more that I see him, the more that he really grows on me, especially as a heel, just because he has the perfect Mexican prick attitude. And he was a heel, I heard, down in CMLL when he was La Sombra as a masked luchador. So, yeah, that was a thing. And I love this match too, man. I love Andrade Almas. I love Oney Lorcan, also known as Biff Busick on the Independents. But I love Oney Lorcan, love Andrade Almas, love this match. It was hard-hitting right off the goddamn bat. These are two brawlers that will not spare any energy to win a match. Almas countered a spot from Lorcan from the top steps. He was trying to go for a blockbuster on the outside to Andrade Almas on the outside from the steps. And he countered it into a brutal-looking, like, power slam, almost arm drag, hip tossy type looking maneuver onto the unforgiving concrete on the outside. And then Almas started dominating the match after that. Lorcan actually hit a blockbuster sort of out of nowhere, as Nigel McGuinness put it, for a 2.5 count. Then Lorcan hit a rolling senton off the top rope to Almas on the outside. He missed a little bit, but they still made it work, even though he did miss it. There were 5 hip attacks by Andrade Almas. By Oney Lorcan. 5 hip attacks in a row to Andrade Almas, and then a half-and-half suplex to Andrade for a 2 count. And then the end of this match, the ending sequence to this match was probably one of my favorite things that I've seen on any show this week. Lorcan went for a top rope There was a brutal overhand chop on the top rope by Andrade Almas because Lorcan was trying to get Almas up to the top rope. Almas countered, got Lorcan up on the top rope, hit a brutal overhand chop, like you could freaking hear it, on Lorcan's chest. Then Lorcan went for the top rope blockbuster, and then Almas after that, moving out of the way of the top rope blockbuster, hit a somersault kick to Lorcan. He went for the double knees in the corner. Lorcan countered it into a big boot, and then Almas countered with an absolute decapitating clothesline. It would have made JBL damn proud to see that clothesline. That was a clothesline from hell, I tell you. Lorcan kicked out, once again, as Nigel McGuinness would say, at a 2 7/8. Almas just got pissed off. He was like, fuck this, man. I'm done with your shit. Throws Lorcan down in the corner, just starts clubbing him with forearms. Just starts absolutely clubbing him with multiple forearm hits. Then properly hits the double knees in the corner. Brutal-looking hammerlock DDT. The guy pulls it off beautifully. No one's kicking out of that. 1, 2, 3. What a damn match to start the show off. And Almas, he's getting over, man. He got a decent pop, and the fans were clapping along to his music, so he's getting over that this gimmick change is exactly what he needed. Maybe WWE should think about that with a certain big dog of theirs. Anyway, then we had DIY in the back lot. Ciampa mentioned that they have spent 12 years to get here, says that they were given an opportunity in the first ever Dusty Classic as two guys who weren't even signed to the company yet. Said that the first guys that they saw was the Revival, and they were destroyed, that the first guys they saw were the Revival, and they scratched and clawed their way to the NXT tag titles. Then they said just as their dreams came true, they were destroyed by AOP. Johnny says that AOP and Paul Ellering have no passion or heart for this business, that they simply are in it for the money. Says that DIY is all heart. They say that DIY isn't just them two, but everyone who supported them over the last 12 years, whether they came over to a merch stand at an indie show. You know how, like, before an indie show, their equivalent of, like, a merch stand is a lot of the wrestlers will just sit around the ring and have, like, their merch boxes next to them. And I heard Cody Rhodes mention a story about that, saying that at one of his first indie shows, he, like, had everybody coming up to him, and he was, like, the first person to sell out of merch, and he sold out within, like, half an hour, which was crazy. But, says anyone who came to the merch stand at an indie show to say hi, or simply just watch them wrestle, or even anyone who posted a glorious bomb on Twitter. That is what DIY is. They say that DIY goes to WrestleMania weekend, the biggest weekend in wrestling, saying that they will have their moment. Then we had another fucking epic Aleister Black promo, and it was revealed that he would make his debut at TakeOver. There were some cryptic letters at the end, but you could pretty clearly tell that it spelled TakeOver one way or the other, and that would actually be brought up later on in the night. Then we had Asuka in action versus some poor soul, some poor local jobber talent. I can't even remember her name. It's poor thing. I could not. This got so bad for her near the end, it got hard for me to watch. Asuka's gonna kill you chance, and let's go jobber chance right off the bat. Then Asuka grabs a mic. I thought, oh dear Jesus. But her English has actually gotten a lot better in the last several months. She's probably up to about Nakamura, close to about Nakamura level when it comes to English. It's clearer. It's still pretty broken. It's still pretty broken English, but you can understand more of what she's saying. So then she calls out Ember Moon and says, "This is your fate." Then kicks. Hello. I do, in fact, apologize for that brief interruption. My sister came home from work, and she surprised me because she did not tell me that she was coming home from work. But anyway, Asuka versus this poor soul. She grabs a mic, calls out Ember Moon, says, "This is your fate," and then kicks this poor girl's head clean off of her shoulders, and then continues to kick her while she is down on the ground in the mat. So she then gets super pissed because this girl got up and just slapped her clean across the face. She got pissed with that one. She hit a running hip attack on the ropes, then some big strong style kicks to the chest. German suplexed this poor thing onto her neck and then kicks her head off yet again. She pins her, but then pulls her up off the mat at a 2.5. She was not going to end this thing. I was thinking, is this like heelish tactics that we're seeing from Asuka? Is that what we're seeing here? Heelish tactics from Asuka. Anyway, then she had knee strikes to the body and then another knee strike to the head. The knee strike heard round the world. Just kneed this girl's head off. Asuka lock, immediate tap out, but then she doesn't release the hold. Bell rung a bit late. She held the hold for about 15 to 20 seconds after the girl tapped out, and then the bell rang. And even Asuka was shocked. It even surprised Asuka. She was like, whoa, okay, hey, I won, woo! Dominant, absolutely dominant. And then she starts speaking in Japanese. She starts rambling off this really weird promo in Japanese that I could not understand a single word of. But it sounded very evil. It sounded very demented. Didn't understand a single goddamn word that she said, but it sounded badass. So I'm going to go with that. And then she simply says, "No eclipse." Mic drop. leaves the ring, she out. Then the Revival, I'm sorry, I accidentally hit the pause button. Then the Revival with an epic promo backstage. What more do you expect out of these guys? It was an absolutely epic backstage promo. Again, I wasn't really keeping up with what they were saying because they were talking a little too fast for me to keep up with in my notes, but I did catch one thing. They said to Authors of Pain, they said that they did something that nobody else could possibly do, which was get the Authors of Pain down to the mat with that beautiful shatter machine that they hit on them not too long back. And then it was announced that we would have one of the Authors of Pain versus, I think it was Dash Wilder versus Johnny Gargano in a triple threat match next week on NXT. So it's just a little preview with half of the participants of the triple threat tag team match at WrestleMania. Then they showed an incredible hype package for the title match between Rude and Shinsuke Nakamura. They showed Bobby Roode in this large, extravagant house, which I am sure is not the actual house that he lives in. I'm sure he just lives in some fancy apartment in Orlando. I guarantee you he doesn't live in this massive, castle in Ontario that they were displaying. But, it was absolutely great. Bobby saying that he is going to continue to elevate his NXT to the next level. Just absolutely unbelievable hype package. Go and watch it if they post it on WWE's YouTube channel for sure. Then I thought we were moving on to the main event, but it turned out we had 3 promos in between. Before the main event even started, there was a promo backstage. All 3 of the babyfaces spoke, but what I caught most was Ty saying, "You don't play the numbers game with the perfect 10. I thought that was a good line. Then backstage, there was an interview with Cassius Ohno done after his loss last week to Bobby Roode, which led to a stare-down confrontation with Elias Samson. Now, I have heard that Elias Samson has been wrestling under a mask at house shows, because there were rumors of him being called up to the main roster, but this time he was there as Elias Samson. Samson started singing, then Ohno says, "You need an ass kicking is what you need." Then Samson says, "No, I don't need an ass kicking. I don't think you belong here." Ohno gets pissed, says maybe he doesn't belong here, maybe even Samson doesn't belong here. And then he challenges Samson to a loser leaves the brand match next week on NXT, and I guarantee you this will lead to Samson getting his main roster call-up, because apparently there are some powers that be over at Titan Tower who are really high on Elias Samson, and I guess they want to call him up, which, hey, lucky him. So then Aleister Black's debut at NXT TakeOver was officially announced, and he will face Andrade Almas, and I'm assuming that is the 5th match on the card, because we have the championship matches set up, and then we have this match between Aleister Black and Andrade Almas, and then what was the other match on the card? I can't freaking remember if there's any other matches on the card that are set in stone. Anyway, they interview Andrade Almas backstage. Andrade says that he will make Aleister Black believe in El Idolo, which is Spanish for the idol. He will make Aleister Black believe in El Idolo, Andrade Almas. Now to the proper main event, finally. I still love Sanity and their gimmick. They are unreal. They look scary. They look like they could just jump through the TV at any second and beat the living daylights out of you. Eric Young had a mic right off the bat. Don't quite understand why. Then the baby faces make all their entrances. Eric Young, I don't think, ever even used the mic. I don't understand. But fight breaks out outside of the ring. Nigel mentions that Nikki Cross could be an X Factor in this match, and she would be later on. Heels starting to beat up Roddy to start. Then Dillinger tags in, and then Jose immediately tags in soon after and starts working on Alexander Wolfe. Very frequent tags by the babyface team from what I could see. Very, very frequent. It was nice. It was fluid. It was just a really good rhythm and a really good gap in between their tags. It was very, very good. Very strategic tag in, tag out strategy by the babyfaces in this match. Heels weren't tagging in and out as often as the babyfaces. But then Roddy suddenly takes out everyone in Sanity. This was sort of his shining moment of the match. Well, he had 2 shining moments in this match. Roddy was really the star of this match, in my opinion. Roderick Strong really showed you what he's capable of in this match. And he eventually did an outside dive onto everybody, after which Percy Watson, get off of the commentary table. Percy Watson, go away. You were on the original version of NXT. You are of the old guard. Leave and let somebody fresh take over your spot. I don't know. Maybe you could convert Austin Aries into a full-fledged freaking announcer and maybe have him announce NXT. Have him perform in the Cruiserweight division and announce NXT. He used to be, on NXT as an in-ring performer. So if you really want to have that three-man booth, I would say get rid of Percy Watson and bring Austin Aries in. Because he's damn good, man. He's very, very good. I was shocked by his commentary capabilities on Raw for the Cruiserweight matches. I never really watched 205 Live to see his commentary style, so I don't know much about 205 Live. I've just seen him on Monday Night Raw. But he's really, really good, considering what I've seen of him on Monday Night Raw. But yeah, Percy Watson, seriously, get off the commentary table. You are not that good. Just let Phillips and McGuinness do their thing. And McGuinness is slowly starting to become my favorite announcer in all of WWE. He's so good at what he does, and the fact that he is so knowledgeable of the business and the holds and the moves that get put on, it's beautiful. But the faces were dominating Alexander Wolfe early on in the match. Then Young tags in, and then Wolfe tags in again. Then Nikki Cross starts to interfere with Jose on the ramp, grabs him by the ankle, but then here comes Killian Dane, the big man, Big Damo, as he was known before. He begins to beat the crap out of Jose. This guy, I've said it a couple of times, he is so believable as just a monster that, I would not be surprised if they have this guy break out into a singles run. He may become, the star of Sanity. It may not even be Eric Young that ends up being the biggest breakout from Sanity. I could see it being Killian Dane, because he's such an absolute beast. But Roddy did a couple of backbreakers to Eric Young and to not the biggest guy, but a big dude in Alexander Wolfe. Roddy is 5'7", 200 pounds, and Alexander Wolfe is probably 6'6", 250, 260, easy. I wouldn't be surprised. Gorgeous backbreakers, by the way, as well, considering both of these guys were larger than he is, and he nailed these backbreakers perfectly. Beautiful. And then he had a great gut-wrench suplex type move on Eric Young. Then the match just broke the hell down and ended in DQ, or ended in a no contest. So there you have it. Story of the match actually happened at the end because Young and Dillinger were actually in the ring together. Dillinger started actually beating the crap out of Young in the corner. Then Nikki Cross, the little pest that she is, gets onto Ty's shoulders with a choke. Then a random woman showed up in the ring. I have some information on her here in just a couple of minutes, but then a random woman showed up on NXT. She was wearing similar attire to the jobber that Asuka squashed earlier in the night, but it wasn't her. This girl had a bunch of tattoos, and she had a short haircut, and she just looked frightening. She looked like, the perfect complement to Nikki Cross. She looked more so like she belonged in Sanity rather than with Dillinger, Strong, and Jose. Started beating up on Nikki Cross. Then Ty throws Eric Young out of the ring. Jose and Wolfe are in the ring as well. Jose with a catapult straight right, to knock out Wolfe. Then Dillinger and Jose take on Killian Dane, double teaming and even triple teaming with Strong. They were having difficulties with Killian Dane, but eventually got Killian Dane out. Then Dillinger's music hits, and I thought to myself, could this be a fourth member of this little group? Maybe just to even out the numbers game with Sanity. Could this be what this woman is being introduced for? Just to I was hoping that they may bring in, I don't know, Crazy Mary Dobson. I don't know, maybe you could bring down Summer Rae from main roster. I don't freaking know. Just bring down somebody, but apparently it was this girl from the Performance Center who was brought down as a fourth member to help out Ty, Strong, and Jose. I went and I did some research to see who this girl was, and it turns out that this woman is named Heidi Lovelace, or Lovelace. That must have been an independent name of some kind, or who knows, that could be her real name. But you could hear the crowd calling her Ruby, because apparently her NXT name is Ruby Riott. Apparently that is her NXT name, is Ruby Riott. Excuse me, Jesus. Ruby, R-I-O-T. Ruby Riott. And again, I'm assuming that she's just some girl from the Performance Center who's been on the house show circuit a lot lately, and they must have just seen something good in her that they liked. So, you know what? Hey, if they want to try to form a faction to go up against Sanity and kind of have a faction war, I'm down. If they want this all to culminate with Ty Dillinger versus Eric Young, maybe with, I don't know, a title on the line, somebody should maybe fantasy book that. References for future content. I thought that was a decent ending to the show. Ended with intrigue. It ended with, the people in the crowd going, what the hell's going on? It was a good way to end the show. So we have next week's TakeOver. Next week's TakeOver is the go-home show for WrestleMania. Next week, we have all of the go-home shows for WrestleMania. Monday night, the go-home show for Raw. Tuesday night, the go-home show for SmackDown Live. And Wednesday night, of course, the go-home show for NXT and TakeOver Orlando. So I cannot wait for next week. I hope that you guys can't wait either. That is it for your NXT March the 22nd, 2017 review. I am going to go load myself down with some allergy medication and try to get all this crap out of me. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please hit the like down below. Also comment down below. Let me know how you're liking NXT TakeOver Orlando. To me, at this point, I'm liking NXT TakeOver Orlando miles better than I'm liking anything that WrestleMania is planning to put on. So, like, comment. Also, do not forget to click the red button down below and subscribe, and also ring the bell so that you do not miss a thing that I do here on YouTube.com. You will get automatic notifications just so long as you ring that bell. Also, share the video if you can as well, and also do not forget to go and check out my earlier videos in the week. I had Monday Night Raw review, I had SmackDown Live review, I had a Pro Wrestling crate unboxing. Absolutely incredible crate, man. I got some good stuff in there. It was Legends of Indie Wrestling, so please do go and check that out if that sounds like something you are interested in. But on that note, that is all from me. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Once again, you guys keep yourself safe, and I'll see you at a later date. Farewell. Oh, wait, sorry. I didn't mean to cut off my own intro. But before I end the video, I just want to say my condolences and my thoughts and prayers go out to Jim Ross and his family. If you didn't know, his wife passed away tonight after the accident that she had on her Vespa early Tuesday morning, late Monday night, early Tuesday morning. She had an accident on her Vespa. A car hit her from behind and caused a traumatic brain injury with multiple skull fractures, and she unfortunately passed away tonight as a result of her injuries. So my thoughts and prayers are with you, Jim. I would not wish something like this on anybody. Nobody should lose their, life partner in such a tragic sequence of events. So I just hope that, you can pull through this and that you can get right back up and, begin to entertain people, which is something that you love to do, and it's something that we love you doing as fans, believe me. So, hope you feel well soon, JR, and I hope to see you down the road at some point doing some more great wrestling-related content. So anyway, don't mean to end this on a somber note, but regardless, that is all from me. Again, thank you guys so much. You keep yourself safe, and I'll see you at a later date. Farewell.